It's a fact, dude. Why don't we
All right.
just go ahead and get into it? Like, the first topic of the day
Oh,
is
baby.
Nintendo.
It's related, huh? It's related,
It
Mike.
is, yeah.
Baby.
It works perfectly.
Sure does. All right. Yeah, let's get to it. We have a decent amount of articles to cover. So, yeah, we got the first article. We got new handheld hardware, which exciting stuff. I must say, I like. It seems like we keep saying it now more than ever. More and more handhelds keep
Yep.
coming out. And, it's getting crazy. So, only Nintendo DS lovers will fully appreciate this dual screen handheld PC. Got this article from The Verge, Sean Hollister. Will this be the first handheld to do DS emulation properly? Dude, I'm excited for this. Just looking at it, like, it looks pretty sick.
It does look pretty sick.
Okay. Boutique? Is that how you say that word?
Boutique? Yeah, that's boutique.
Boutique
handheld. Yeah, we've covered them a few times. Not boutique, but the gaming company.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, familiar name out of here. Boutique handheld gaming company Ayaneo. Hey, I know we told you cover some stuff on Ayaneo.
Let's go.
They had recently announced the Ayaneo Flip DS. It is a 7-inch, 120Hz handheld gaming clamshell with a second screen that's clearly inspired by the Nintendo DS and might let it play games like one too. According to Lily Pudding's Brad Linder, who deserves kudos for calling out the company's attempt to plant a leak. Both the Flip DS and the similar Flip KB will be powered by AMD's Ryzen 7 7840U. That's the same chip that is practically every other flagship Windows gaming handheld at the moment. It's in practically every other one. Including quite a few from ANU itself. So we got some images. Just take a look. Just bask in this glory. Look at this. Huge ass.
This looks
huge ass.
Cool,
you know what I'm saying? Look how big this screen is. Huge, dude. Yeah, big little screen at the front. Got a nice little display at the bottom there too. It's kind of weird because it's like it's such a big difference in screen size between the two. So it's like it is
makes
very
you
wonder
weird,
like
right?
how it's gonna work, right? Yeah, button layout too. You see, you got the D-pad, 2 joysticks. I mean, I don't even. There's like a sensor on the top. There's like a little sensor right here. Not sure what this is all about. Got some different. These almost look like switch buttons, like something like that. Yeah,
it
regular.
Does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, AVXY. You got a screenshot button. Looks like. I mean, jeez. It's a lot of buttons on this thing. There's a lot of potential with macros and whatnot. I feel like, and yeah, they also show what's nice. A nice little the Flip KB. You know what the KB stands for, Mike? Keyboard. That's right. This thing has what looks like a BlackBerry style keyboard.
It does. Yeah, that's totally a BlackBerry style.
This very small keys, very small. Yeah, I don't even know when the last time we had like a handheld or a phone or something like this that had this like very tiny keyboard. I feel like this is kind of like I mean, touchscreen. Like now everything's touchscreen, right? So it's like touchscreens are at a point where the keyboards work flawlessly on them. So like a hardware keyboard, very interesting.
Swiping and stuff. Yeah. Mechanical question.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's very interesting. So while that AMD chip sounds like overkill for Nintendo DS titles, I'm very curious about battery life. Sean Hollister, that is. A secondary screen to properly display Nintendo's top and bottom games is a rarity in the emulation world. Lots of handhelds and phones can already emulate the DS, but they often put the top and bottom screens side by side or let you switch between looking at the top and bottom at any given time. That's one of the reasons the emulator community was excited about the rise of folding phones like Samsung's Galaxy Fold. Nice little video here kind of showing. I mean, look at this. This is pretty cool, Mike.
It's crazy.
It's pretty wild. It's quite literally a DS emulated on a Samsung Fold. It's like a Galaxy Fold, which is genius, honestly.
It is, yeah. That's the new Fold too, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. So looks pretty sick. Not gonna lie. And I think it's just like stuff like this is like this is like I feel like it's just meant for it. It's like having something.
It
like
is,
that.
yeah.
Like it's just meant to be. Yes, very cool stuff coming out of that. It's also why the Steam Deck owners have gone out of their way to bolt a second screen onto their handheld. Look at this contraption. It's like
you're doing too much, man.
Dude, this is crazy. At least you get the aspect ratios right on both. See, like the big screen, small screen looks even.
I mean, for people that are listening to audio only, it's like, what would you say? It's like a Frankenstein's monster, like contraption of this really weird monitor, small system that's like mounted, hard mounted to the top of the Steam Deck.
I feel like the best way I can describe it is if you've ever seen like, I don't know, this may be too niche, but like if you've ever seen like a camera and they have a very small like, you know, monitor attached to the camera so you can see what it's filming like on a bigger screen, but not, you know, so like it looks like one of those is kind of like gimbaled on, and then the USB-C port is like connected to this little display so that it like can sync between both of them. So it's like, it almost looks like a GoPro gimbal on one of those little like camera like viewfinder attachments. And yeah,
it looks like it works great though.
I mean, yeah, it's
playing
worked pretty good.
What is that, Metroid Prime?
Yeah, Metroid Prime DS maybe. Yeah, I don't know, very cool stuff. Hey, look, I say this is it's better than nothing though, because you want to try and emulate like some DS games. If you're interested in the Ayaneo Flip DS, know that it's likely going to take a convoluted path to market. Not only does Ayaneo crowdfund all its products, but it also tends to trickle out details as slowly as it possibly can ahead of their Indiegogo debut. The company also announces new designs faster than it can ship them. By the time I've received one of the company's products for testing, it's almost always already moved on to a newer, more desirable model. At this point, we're waiting on these two clamshells, a sliding keyboard handheld PC, a big battery plus big screen plus touchpad handheld PC, another big screen plus touchpad PC, and another mystery one that uses Qualcomm's new chip. The company says it started shipping its first Android handheld in September on top of the 9, 10 Windows handhelds it already shipped in 2 years.
Yeah.
Sean genuinely does not understand how the company could afford it. Yeah, it's
yeah, they basically designed their new handheld, and the moment they're done designing it, they immediately go on to the next one. They don't like do continuous support for the ones that they just finished.
Right. Which we mentioned before on the show. You know, it's like that's how it is with like the modding scene, especially around hardware. It's like people start a project and then they'll either do 5 other projects while they're doing that, or like they'll start it, and then they'll start it, come up with other stuff that they can do to like improve it, but then they're already on to the next thing, so it just gets left, kind of thing. I feel like this is like, you know, a version of that to a certain extent.
Yeah. It's crazy. The company's only like 3 years old too, and they have an insane amount of like handhelds. They all look really cool and awesome. Just I'm very curious like where they're based out of and what kind of team they got working with them.
Yeah, it makes you really curious, right? I mean, it's it's certainly not cheap to do hardware like this, especially at the level that they presented. Like, it looks very well crafted. So
yeah, I mean, the Kun is the one that we like first covered. It was close to $1,000. But typically they don't really mention how much something's going to be until like you have to like pre-order it. It's like, hey, by the way, this is going to cost this much.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can imagine this will, especially with the clamshell design, I can imagine maybe it'll be same price, if not a little more expensive than what we've covered in the past. But yeah, I mean, look,
I would say so.
If it does a DS well, what more can you ask for? This is like this is the DS lover's dream right here. It's literally it.
Facts. So I'm curious what's going to happen with these handhelds. Like, there's always going to be a market for handhelds, I think. But when cell phones become so good that they're better than the handhelds, like $1,400 new iPhone and new Samsung Galaxies, like I think the S23, they can handle like pretty much any game. It feels like within reason. Like, you gotta make some sacrifices, but when those become super compatible with controllers, what are you gonna do?
The thing, man. Like, you know, iPhone 15, there's a version of Resident Evil Village, I think, that runs natively on the iPhone 15. That's insane to me. Yeah, I mean, cloud streaming makes it so I can play like tons of Xbox games pretty well on these devices. You know, especially the xCloud. So yeah, we're getting there with streaming, but yeah, I mean, the hardware is pushing it to the point now where we have AAA games running natively on these devices. So yeah, it's only going to get crazier, I think, each year. So I'm excited to see where like the iPhone 18 is, or Samsung Galaxy 40. You know, it's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty crazy. It's gonna be to the point where it's like a built-in like projector to hook up your stuff, and then you can project the game in
I've seen
4K
people
on a
do that with
wall.
Apex.
It's
Yeah.
wild. Getting there.
Crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be good to see.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where it's heading. But yeah, new hardware. It's looking pretty good, Mike. DS lovers out there.
Yeah,
You know
it's always
what's
good to see, like oh, no, go ahead. Hit me with the segue.
nah, I jumped too early. I jumped too early. Woo!
Oh, kinda. I was gonna say it was like it's just really cool to see a company like Ayaneo going over here and like implementing new things and being innovative, even if it's
Yeah.
kind of a pipe dream being crowdfunded in a way. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say it's a
Yeah.
pipe dream because it's not technically. They're actually shipping them out
Right.
and designing new things, but it's cool to see like a company trying to push the box, like push outside the box,
Yeah.
so that more companies are inspired.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to see innovation, right? Like
Yeah,
different, just
exactly.
crazy ideas. Like I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of these things spawn from insane ideas. But yeah, it inspires other people, and that's kind of the thing you want to start somewhere, and then kind of yeah, other people are going to feed off this, which is all the better. So I'm all
Yes,
for it, man.
sir.
All for it. I'm about to be all